Well, the water's receded so far. Here he is, he's actually coming out of that bit of mud now. Only his feet are wet. Looks like he's just having his hooves polished. And he'll turn and look at us. Yes? No? No, he'll poo in our general direction instead.
There we go.
But never seems to fail. Stop watch the buffalo, he'll start moving, stop and let you know what he's eating. Okay, well he's going through to that little pan. I am going to go back that way before we head north. Just going to turn around up ahead. I just wanted to come and see this little bit of water. You'll notice the saddle bull isn't here anymore. She's been here for a little while. Today, we are still on the lookout for a giraffe. Now we need a giraffe. We haven't been able to find one. But part of today is going to be about finding a giraffe and looking at the feet. I wish I had bones, and I'll keep an eye out. Toe bones of a giraffe. I found a giraffe killed not too long ago. Up into the light just before I came here. And well, you gotta able to handle that smell. What went wrong there was somebody killed the audio on the live stream and not on the computer, probably this morning. And so, you know that the show that what's it called? Promo that plays?
Yeah?
Well, somebody must have put the audio down on that in the wrong places. The same gremlin that has done some other things. Instead of putting the sound off on the computer and letting the sound still run on the live promo. Oh, let's go up this road. Oh, no, it's not the worst. It's like about the third worst. But then we don't have to go under the tree where we need to bring out the stick. I think that stick is going to be... I'm going to have to take it home with me, Aaron. Thank you. It'll be at my house forever. In fact, I'm going to prop up the pony. I'm going to prop up things with it, so, and I'll get creepers to grow on it. And become part of my garden, and every day when I wake up, I put it at the bird bath. It'll remind me of the days when we had to prop up sticks. I hope you can all hear me now. I thought I was getting quite witty, and I thought I'd made a couple of good jokes. Now I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the drive. You missed it, that first bit when we were silent. Hello everybody, and welcome to a bumpy and dusty and lovely sunny afternoon. Bumpy and dusty, yes, I love it. That's how I roll. That's all I do back home, is drive over bumpy and dusty roads. People wondering how I am. I'm okay. It's not really so much my chest, it's more, I don't know, my diaphragm. A weight on it. This morning it got a little bit worse after drive. I felt like I had something sitting on my chest. But not from a breathing point of view, more from a diaphragm point of view. So it's not like heart or lungs or anything. But thanks for the concern. I'm okay. Still a little bit of when I inhale. Talking is all about exhaling. I've got a little fright because at one point it did kind of get hard to breathe. Not hard to breathe, but when my diaphragm moved, it was painful. So it's not any part of me that I need to be concerned about, because it's all good. I'm still kicking. There's something I still have to do on this planet, so I'm not going anywhere. Where was I? Okay, this is Buffalo's baboon. Buffalo baboon, and I'm expecting to find another animal with a bee that's walked on this road. This must be the bee road. I was saying that when we started the drive, when we first crossed the river, that was where that young male lion, for those of you who weren't with us this morning, might have missed the drive, but I'll just do a recap anyway. He came out of the riverbed over there, walked up to camp, which was in a southerly direction. And when he got to camp, he proceeded to turn west towards those big green water tanks, and then he proceeded to turn northwest, and he almost walked in a straight line. We lost his tracks on the camp on the southern side of the river, and we picked his tracks up again on a road called Bushlow Link, just off the Saluti Malawan cut line. I suppose turning around quite a lot and searching very, very hard. The two rangers and their guide, or their trackers, the two guides and their trackers, finally found her coming out onto the road, and then into that lovely little riverbed with big jackleberry and big blueberry. And funny enough, we were almost here when that happened. We were heading home. I was feeling so great. And we were going to come back down this way. But I heard about this and I thought, well, we've got a good chance. All we had to do was go back up rather than down and central cut lines, and we would have been there. And we were. As we got there, she went behind a tree. And I was so intent on following the line. Anyway, I followed him and I followed his tracks until I couldn't follow them anymore because we lost signal. And somebody else picked him up further northwest and then found him further northwest on the property known as Jackleberry, near Jackleberry Lodge. So he's up there, our little boy. The females and the youngsters were found not too far away. They were soon lost when the females took their cubs into a riverbed, same as the leopard did with her cubs. And I've got a sneak that the tracks that I saw were her going to fetch, which means that where she was seen might not necessarily be where she's taking us on the way. There eventually. Tracks, very big root tracks. We want to find giraffe tracks and a giraffe. It'd be nice to have the two together, or at least maybe find the track and then find the giraffe. And I'm gonna let Aaron track the giraffe. We find it. I think by now Aaron's picked up enough to be able to track the giraffe. The old giraffe tracks here. Yeah, Lacey Road. That place is Ghana. Yeah.
Last time I was down with Skull.
The wildebeest skull.
Not too sure what it was.
I think I know which one it is. I think it's that wildebeest skull near... Oh look, there's footprints. They look like mine. What was I doing out of the car over here? There's an old wildebeest skull lying about 15-20 yards in, coming from Langwan Dam towards Central Katla. But anyhow, you're sitting higher, and the grasses are getting thinner, so things are going to start getting more visible to us now as these grasses start dropping. They're already dropping. I think if you have a look at what it looked like when we first started and what it looks like now, animals have walked these grasses, flashed on the degree, starting to open up in the winter or the dry season. And aha! Still not fresh. 1 day old giraffe track, so we're getting closer. Can't expect there to follow 1 day old track. Unless there were no roads and the cars. That would be easy. Then they would be far ahead of us. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go down, and then we'll head up. Now. Bar any interruptions. I think I have a plan. Knowing full well that plans don't work. This is the bush, and it's futile having a plan. One develops a plan nonetheless. Beverly in Arkansas, or as our South Africans want to call it, Arkansas. They come from Arkansas. Hello to Jay and Beverly from Arkansas, and thank you for your question. This is Mark here from Wild FM. The giraffe that we saw yesterday,
Yeah?
could it be that part of that giraffe is due to partial melanism? Yes, indeed. I did think of that myself. Come to think of it, Beverly, you're quite right. Especially since the darkness of it extended into the main. I mean, sorry, wrong radio. It almost looked as though something dark was poured over it. And it did occur to me, but I have to be honest with you. I haven't wait, we might not have signal. Okay, sorry, Beverly. I was blocked out by that drainage line. But yes, I did consider it yesterday. But what's been puzzling me is that I've been trying to think of any other creature that I've only seen partial melanism. Because can it even be possible to be partially melanistic? Because it's like one of those things. You're either melanistic or you're not. No, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to do a complete double take, go back up central, and then take that little track that goes through the dam, cross the dam, come back down, go up the boundary, go towards the upper, and then mind. If it is, it's really a really strange case, because I've only ever heard of full melanism, not partial melanism. I think this is the track I want to take. Goes back up onto Central Road. Here's Central. There's Nanzan. You can get confused between these two because they look so similar. Got Nanzan coming down up there, straight to the drainage line. And then you come through this little gap, almost hidden, and suddenly you've got central cut line doing exactly the same thing at like maybe at 8 degrees, 10 degrees angle. So it's like being half pregnant. I don't know of any cases where there's been partial, but I might be entirely wrong, and that's also because I might be well read in something, but I might also be limited in terms of my access to find out more things. So it's something that I'm certainly going to look at, whether something can be partially melanin. There's a famous photograph that is actually doing the rounds right now, and maybe it's a new phenomenon. There's a photograph of a ginger cat that is half melanistic and half not. Well, it would appear so. In fact, it almost looks like a doctor's photograph where the left side of one cat has been pasted to the right side of another cat. One is ginger and one is black, or what appears to be mostly black. And the eyes are different. One eye is green and the other eye is blue. And that is some serious twist in genetics after, I suppose, so many thousands of years of mixing up cat genes. How that cat could be like that. I'm coming down here for a reason, because I think that there's this crossing that goes across the drainage line. I think there's an impala lily here, and should be flowering by now. The impala lilies are flowering at the gate. It comes into the reserve. And my impala lilies are flowering at home. The impala lilies are flowering everywhere. Yes, it's just crossing flowering. That's why I hate them. Find a flower. I will go miles for a flower for a lady. Water lily. Another one. Flowering. Very special little rock face that is north facing that should have some rather particular species of flowers. Could have, not should. Could have. Central cut line. That's Cheshire North. Yes. Is that the one you're thinking of? That's the wildebeest song. That's the one I was thinking of when you mentioned it. But it's been moved. Let's just turn this way. I don't want to really move it much. I'm just going to turn it for a minute. These are interesting vertebrae because these are the vertebrae that carry the nuchal muscle above the shoulders. You can see how the ends have been chewed off. Could have been hyena or the lion. But these were here, the rest of the wildebeest is there. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle for me, but I don't have time to play with puzzles right now. I like puzzles. I like putting things together. After lion, I've torn them apart, only because it just helps me understand how everything works. But I think one of the most interesting things for me in nature is really vertebra. And you go from the smallest of our vertebrates, which might even be the tiniest of thread snakes, some of the smallest fish, to the whales and the elephants, and everybody has the same shaped vertebra, with the most important piece of the puzzle being protecting this little channel of our spinal column that runs through the center of the vertebra. All this bulk and all this beautifully articulated skeleton that is there to protect everything that we are runs down the spine. That wildebeest still running through fields. He's not resting in peace. He's on an endless migration. always come back as an impala. Can you imagine? A wildebeest and eaten by lion, only to come back as an impala. What are these boys? I can hear from where. Interesting. Kill sometime during the summer. Towards the end of summer, there's still a big piece of skin there that's dried. There are a bunch of creatures that would eat, especially some of that soft tissue that is now dried on some of those skeletal remains. A lot of that soft, there's certain insects, in fact there are very specific beetles that eat those. There's the yellow-throated longclaw flying above us. But yes, insects that utilize the carcass specific time, long after the flies have been passed, long after the maggots and all the soft bits have been eaten. Even millipedes and giant African land snails. In fact, some of them are what we call detritivores. They're specifically designed to eat the detritus, do away with those last remnants that the larger creatures are not going to deal with. Carcass beetles and carrion beetles. Stuff that fly maggots can't get to because there's no longer enough soft flesh for them to get to. And now that it will dry, nothing will. Perhaps maybe something will gnaw on it. Porcupine will probably gnaw on those bones, so will some of the other rodents. Even giraffe and kudu might come along and chew on some of the ends of those, especially those lumbar vertebrae that carry the nuchal muscle, with those pieces that stick out because they can get bits of calcium. But until the rains come and it softens up and the millipedes and the carcass beetles come out, all of that soft tissue will just remain almost desiccated, petrified until the wet season comes back. Those things on the horns of the wildebeest, those things growing out of the horns, are silk tubes, silk and fecal tubes made by the larva of a moth that is known as the horn borer moth or horn borer caterpillar. And it's the only thing, one of the only things that eats the actual horn content of the horn. It doesn't get into the skeletal structure of the horn, so after time, if we were to come back here, say after a few years, that horny outer covering of those horns would have been eaten away and disintegrated, and all that would be left would be the skeletal structure of the horns, which is exactly the same shape and almost the same size attached to the skull, which is one of the primary differences of an antelope versus a deer. And then, of course, just to throw us off track, nature threw in the pronghorn antelope and mixed it all up and said, well, you can't believe everything you hear, but here's an exception. And it's a reminder to us all that whatever we see in nature, whatever we learn, there are always exceptions to the rule. And there's even an exception to that rule, because not always, sometimes there are very strict rules. So there's always exceptions to a rule, but not necessarily. It depends. It depends. Oh, looky, buffalo in the water. That does not mean that there are water buffalo. Elephant! I beg your pardon. He's drinking water. Oh, he's moving. Okay, we're making too much noise. Boy, are we lucky. Aaron, I think it's when you come out, dude, you bring the eddies.
You must know.
But it's right into the sun, so I'm hoping he's not going to go anywhere. Buffalo are looking at us as though, what about us? They're saying, we here too. It's okay, Buffalo, I'll get you across the back of the elephant, and we'll do a combination. And this elephant is this Norman? Where are you going, Boykie? That's Norman. Norman! Hello. Ah. This is Norman. That was very unexpected. But such a wonderful drive too. And we're going to give him some space and just watch him from here. Turn the radio down. Hello, Norman. Stormin' Norman. We would have sunk.
That'll work.
No? It's a quote from somebody. Okay. With water, so maybe we need to go where we're going to see. Look, there's the croc. Mildred. She was sitting here. We didn't even have eyes for her, but now she's gone in the water. You just see the ripple where she was.
I heard a splash. I was like, what?
She must have been sitting outside here. This is the corner. Find the croc in the alley. I'll just record it in. Because maybe the croc's going to come out. We're going to go down here and see Ellie. And maybe we'll see croc. And there's buffalo. It's actually a beautiful scene here in Langwan Dam for a change. Just for a change. Oh, sorry, look up. Oh, I'm so scared, Norman. We just want to come and look, dude. I didn't love and in Yari at Langwan Dam. Yeah, I'm getting a Thomas. Did somebody find the dingway again? Okay, copies. Somebody beat us to it. I need a nice photo of Norman. He's always been with others. He's always been with... No, you're not popping in here before you go. I'm not moving, dude. You guys have got a herd of elephant up north. Don't look now, Ryan. This is the Land Rover full of gorgeous young women coming around. I mean, I did. I don't know why. Erin, sorry.
Are they gorgeous?
Yes, they are.
Your age or my age?
I think it's more your. That is awesome. I hope so, Becky. Have we got a card in the machine?
No, man.
Only now we got. Yes, and we're waiting for the crocodile to show its face. Seems to be putting water on his foot. I wonder if he's got a bit of an injury.
Trying to sign language to us.
Yeah. Not happy with it yet. We're just racing in here and racing out. That's the way of modern game rangers. We're going to race down to find the leopard, then we're going to race up to the lion, and then we're going to race back to the other elephant, and then we're going to race back to the cheetah, and then we're going to race back to camp, and then we're going to rush this week, never mind. In the meantime, we'll just chase the elephant away. Eish. He's moving up to possibly little dam. Concapan. It was so nice and peaceful. I should have kept my mouth shut. But I get probably into trouble more by keeping my mouth shut than do by not keeping my mouth shut. What? Oh, Croc's coming. Okay, let's go and have a look at Ken quickly. All good? So nice to see you, girl. Maybe she's going to come out. Maybe I'm in the wrong place for her to come out, because then we need to see her there. Because she's coming onto this bank. Maybe if I go there and dangle my toes in the water, she'll come out. I dare you. Yeah, the dragonfly has landed on her nose. And now everybody's converging on the poor leopard, and they're going to chase them into thick bush. And there must have been, what, 12 youngsters on that vehicle? None of them here for the bush. It's just one big party for them. No, the sun was in my eyes. I didn't look anyway. I think she's going to come out. I know. I'm going to go back a little bit. Crocodilian. But now she decided to hide behind that one little piece of grass. See why I don't make plans? Because my plans have just been shot. English gentlemen.
Come on, Mildred.
Yeah, crocodile. Yeah, girly. It's about almost the best we've seen her actually. Oh, and this big stick in front of her is actually a stranded Stichosaurus.
What?
This dead stick thing?
Yeah.
It's really a dead tree. It's a dormant Stichosaurus.
Supposed to be a joke.
No. Not a joke. Trust me. A number of our viewers will tell you all sorts of stories about the Stichosaurus at Grrrrrr Dam. That was supposed to be a Stichosaurus that's coming out of the water there in the middle of this dam, but it's proving to be one big lump of log, so maybe it's a Logosaurus. A Logodactyl. In fact, the shape of this is very similar to the Stichosaurus of Grrrrr Dam. You see, it was in the dam, and then the varying heights of the water changed the appearance of the stick. And there used to be hippo and a baby that used to move around it.
Really?
And sometimes when they were underwater, the stick would move of its own accord. So we'd have on the dam, on the dam camera, also the waterhole cam, you'd have the stick moving and making ripples in the water. And only a while later, a hippo would pop its head up.
Want to try and get another view? I don't know. Or will you scare the little crocodile away?
We can try. Go down here a little bit.
There's just this little bush here that's the problem with the camera.
Which little bush?
This one right in front of you, yeah.
This?
Yeah, well...
You mean if we go down?
To the gap here maybe there was
if we go down there, they should have...
Okay, cool.
It's coming now.
Pretty good. Come on, don't be shy. if I want to be like that.
Yes, I think we should go to a different channel. Open the mouth. Can you see that canine tooth in the front there? That's her fourth canine. That's her fourth, not canine, but her fourth tooth. That in crocodile that protrudes above the outside of the jaw. That's what makes a crocodile a crocodile. There's that fourth tooth in the jaw. Looks like a serious underbite. And every crocodile seems to need some dental work, but that's the way crocodiles are. I suppose it helps with grip. When they're holding on to slippery fish or something. Now, a lot of crocodiles, their main diet is catfish, tilapia, aquatic things, frogs maybe, when they're very small. Only when they get to be monsters of 15, 18 feet that they need to eat wildebeest and zebras. And impala goes down almost whole. I could do a Steve Irwin and just rush down there and jump on her back and wrestle her in the mud. And then pick her up and kiss her and say, beautiful creature. Maybe tomorrow. Look at that. Did you get the glint in the eye there? Look at her eye. Beautiful. Crocodile's eyes are really special. Whirligig beetle just at her face. Brave or just eyes are too big for his tummy. So we are looking at a living dinosaur here, everybody. We are looking at a creature that has not changed, hasn't found the need to change, hasn't had anybody challenging its position as an alpha predator of the freshwater environment. In what, 250 million years? Millions of years. Here Norman feeding. He's come around the other side of the dam. There was. We're going to go find him now. There's no point in going anywhere near where that leopard was found again, because there are so many vehicles down there. She's decided to take a duck into some thick bush and they haven't been able to find her again. Starting to understand the leopards now and realize how lucky we were when a couple of times when I was tracking them and I found them. What's wrong, crocodile? No feathers to play with, no friends. Crocodiles are not really that friendly that they need friends. No, we're in her shade. Or rather, we're in her sun. She's coming into our shade now. Obviously, a little sandbar where she is now. You can see. That's not that small, eh? See how big she is when she comes, just coming over that little sandbar. So there's a plant sticking up that she's just brushed with her tail, and that must have been sort of at least nearly maybe 8 feet behind her snout. Why don't you climb out for us, girl? There we go. Oh my word, look at this. Oh my word, look at this. In our presence. This is epic. Now, I want to tell you about a unique feature of crocodiles that no other reptiles have got. That no other reptile is able to swing their legs through 90 degrees off of the ilium and the ischium, the hip bone, to raise themselves off of the ground like that. Oof. Coming to get a little bit of, just a little bit of late afternoon sun. I can't believe how lucky we are. What patience does for you. And it's not that great. She's half in the sun and half in the shade and all. I think if I lay down and I had the top of my head where her snout is, I would come, my knees would probably be at her, I guess maybe she's about 7 foot. She's probably not much bigger than me. My head where her head is, my shoulders where her shoulders are, my hips where her hips are, and then my legs about as long as her tail. So she's probably just about 6 feet, I'd say, maybe a bit more. Kind of hard. She's giving me a grin now of note. Post on Facebook. She's really a pretty crocodile. Oh, that was magic. But to see how it's magic. Okay. Question, Becky. What question have you got for me? I can't go anywhere because then I'm going to frighten her back into her head. No. Question coming in from Rhode Island. Hello, Gail. What's Rhode Island best known for? Trying to think. I can't think. Well, the one thing it is Rhode Island Reds. I used to have Rhode Island Reds. They're the best egg layers. In fact, there's a photo of me in one of my Facebook albums of me and my Rhode Island Reds. They're a particular type of hen, laying hen, and I used to eat the eggs. Shame to say. But Gail was asking, is there any way to tell the age of the elephant that we just saw? And yes, Gail, there is actually. We can sort of look at his size. He's not a full-grown elephant. He's still a fairly young elephant. We can't really tell by the size of his tusks, because tusks size is more genetic than it is related to age. But having said that, obviously through age the tusks grow longer and longer, so he would have to be a certain age to have tusks at least as long as he has. I'd estimate him to be maybe in his mid-20s, not quite 30, based on his size and his demeanor, that sort of thing. I'm just amazed that he hasn't left any tracks anywhere. And I'm also amazed that he's just disappeared without a trace. And so we're going to go find him before it gets too late. Since Mildred is now chosen to come out of the water, we're not really going to see much more out of her. Certainly no playing with feathers today. Not to my knowledge. That eyes are closed. There we go. Good night. What she's doing is she is storing solar energy right now. Oh, oops, I woke her up. I opened again. Hopefully she wouldn't mind me starting up. That's quite a grin, isn't it?
I'm on Tuesday.
Don't touch me on my studio. You know the story of that place?
Yeah, I know that story. What is it?
Cool. Okay. Elephant time. Elephant sunset. I owe a few people an elephant sunset. Let's go find Norman and ask him if we can spend the rest of the afternoon with him. Oh, there's buffalo. They're moving away from the water. They're heading out for grazing. That was really incredible.
Got that off foot.
I hope so, because I didn't see a red light.
No.
It was. Okay, Mildred, we're starting up the figure. Hope you don't actually record this just in case she does. I don't want to scare her, but it might. On the other hand, after 250 million years, there's probably very little that scares a crocodile. Bye-bye, girl. Thank you for your time. And you can thank me for mine. What would be nice to do is actually maybe get a shot from here to get the, not only the face, but the width. Because it's not a small... Oh. If we can get a... Nice to be able to, there might be too many grasses in the way. But from about there, you might get a view of her girth. Hey, she's fat. She's a healthy crocodile. Yeah, there's just too much in the way.
She's all back.
It would have to be, if we could, I mean, that could be worse, but we won't see the width of her. But it's just a different angle.
Yeah, cut away.
Mildred Gertrude, what did I call her? No, Mildred Gertrude.
Next man is the third.
You know what I think? I think that maybe because we've been coming to Langwan Dam a lot and she's heard our vehicle, I think she's got used to the jigger. Yeah, I think she's got used to the sound and that's why she's letting us do this. Whereas before she was slipping into the water, now she's at least sticking around. So maybe we're going to see maybe a bit more of her. Okay, let's go find an elephant.
Bye.
Halukas! anything? Got the question? You got the question? Yeah, what? Getting back to Gail's question, Gail from Rhode Island. About the age of an elephant. Until they're adults. Oh, yeah, the monkeys. The crocodile monkey. Until an elephant is full grown, so until it's about 30 odd, you can more or less gauge the age by its size, as well as the size of its feet. The even calculations to use by the size of its duck, bolus. But once they reach sort of adulthood, very much like us, in that they fill out and they age not by getting bigger but getting fuller, and it gets a little bit more difficult as they get into their 30s and 40s. It's only when they start getting to be old men, once they're sort of 50, so an elephant really then showed age once again. Good afternoon, Mark here. Yeah, he headed north up from the dam. I'm looking for him now, just watching that Nguenya coming out of the water. He's headed up towards Concapan. I'm going to go and try and relocate him now. If anyone's interested, that Nguenya is out of the water at Langwan Dam. Come this far, but there is another little pan here called Concapan. Look, oh, a little bit of a parlor herd stampede. Don't want to get in front of a parlor herd stampede. I tell you, they can be ruthless. Brutal impala, you don't want to be in the way of them. Now to get down to Concapan, we have to go all the way around. Worry bushes. Well, even if the crocodile wasn't there, we wouldn't have really been able to follow little Norman, because it's really thick in there. Those places that would be hard to ride a bicycle, let alone drive a Land Rover. without elephants. Okay, there's a flower, or rather a plant. I don't know if Cindy's watching, but it's not in flower. I get the sun on it there. But Sarah's going to have to try and get a picture of it. That thing there. Yes, that green and that's variegated. Sansevieria. Cindy, I haven't heard from you. Now, there are two other Cindys. Got a Cindy who's a vet tech in Arizona, and then there's Cindy Ciano. But this is Cindy Craw that I want to talk to right now. Cindy knows all about Sansevieria. This is a special hello to Cindy. Line up for the Ingwe. The Ingwe doesn't have the Ingwe, dude. She doesn't want to see you. Suddenly forgotten its specific name. Hyacinth lilies. Funny, I knew it was the hyacinth family, and of course it's hyacinth because its flower is very similar. It's sort of very hyacinth-like. How I could have forgotten it, I don't know, but I guess it's just age. You know, the more I learn, the more I forget. I don't know if Cindy's watching, but I do know that there might be some people who know Cindy who can send her a message. Okay, hello to Cindy from Mark in Africa, and I found your Sansevieria. Because I think Cindy wasn't too well last time I heard, and I hope she gets better. Norman! Norman. I'm going to call him Norman Man, in honor of a very good friend of mine. His name was Norman Man. Passed away a few months ago. Younger than me. Last station, go again. That's brilliant. It's not young Norman, is it? Oh, okay, copy. I wondered where it went to. He's on that road, I think, where they're the Egyptian geese that have been terrorized by the Berget monkeys, so we're not going to disturb them. Hakarinya moving east. Now, I don't have a road on my map called Hakarinya, but I think that road that's got that wildebeest skull, I think that's Karinya, which means Norman came around the dam and instead of coming north, he's gone that way. So I said it might bring him back down towards us for tomorrow morning. sometimes when it comes to road names, roads are not that words, they're not like my map. Road, I think what is old. The roads don't exist and there are other roads that do exist but not on map. So I've kind of just put two and two together from listening to the last one. There we go.
Welcome to Africa, and welcome to our world. This is our Africa. Break it, Norman. Come on, you can do it, boy. You can do it. You can do it. Pull on it. Well done.
Well done.
There's the man. Some of you might remember a little elephant named Wonky. Back in Duma, in the days before I joined, 2008 and early 2009, an elephant that sadly passed the will. He was killed by a big bull early 2009. I think this is the Thornybush equivalent of that elephant. He has a slight genetic deformity with his tusks, and I want to say that very softly. I don't want to give him a complex. But his right tusk is a very straight tusk, and it's very heavily grooved. It's not symmetrical, it's not round like most tusks, almost flat. I don't know, where am I going to be able to go now? Maybe forward. And I know at the moment he's hidden. But as he's on the seat and moves, he's going to move into view as I speak. Hello, young man. Barely acknowledging us. Quite happy on his own. He's a young male, he's a bull, he socializes with the herds when he wants to, and being a young bull, he is quite happy on his own for the most part. There's not really much out here that's going to give him trouble. So he can wander around on his own. He's got the size and bulk that can intimidate most things. Even the local lion.
There's like a tree in the way here. Can't really see.
Cut it down.
Yo yo! Cut it down. There we go.
Ooh, I've got a very sticky spider on my flower book. concentrate marker with an elephant nut. Quite, it's a really interesting spider. So I'll pick a spider that looks like an ant. Ant mimic. So rare as an elephant. Although lately elephants have been pretty rare in our book. So they've all been north. We've got first elephant in a few days. And really especially to spend some time with them. Feeding mostly on the bark of young ground-leaf teak. I wouldn't say sapling, it's not exactly sapling, they just repopulating it. The more the elephants feed on it, the more it repopulates it, the more it actually produces food for them for next year. Relatively fast growing, and the bark is very important to them. Fishing. But good luck to you. What's the verb that's attracted you again? Come on. Ready.
Come on, Norman. You say hi.
Good afternoon, Lake. Hang on. I'm going down Ring Road, smaller one. Blake was asking if an elephant breaks its tusk, does it regrow like teeth? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what teeth you're thinking of, but I don't know any teeth that break or rather regrow after breaking. How's Hendrik?
Hello.
Afternoon, ladies. How are you? Okay, good. Okay, good.
How much?
Yeah, he's just here behind this complete. He's there. Just somebody just. See? Oh my. So, Blake asking what teeth grow back that you know of, Blake, but no, they don't. The thing about elephant tusks is, yes, they continue to grow. They're very unusual in that, with most, stop talking, in that most teeth reach a particular size and then stop growing. Like ours, our teeth don't continue to grow. They wear down. But yes, with tusks they continue to grow. But so basically what happens is, let me show you. If that was an elephant tusk and it broke, no matter how close to the jaw, it would continue to grow out of the jaw, but the end would not regrow because there's no growth at the end. The growth is inside the jaw. And then, apart from that, if it broke in the jaw, or if it broke close to the jaw, it depends on how the root was damaged.
whether it would continue to grow or not. So it's not that it grows again. When an elephant tusk breaks, it just still continues to grow out, it just doesn't have the same shape. So now I don't know where Hendrik has gone, but he's... Oh, there he is. I'm going to get in there to see Norman. I think Norman's happy there. Okay, kom hier net in toe. Ja? Kom hier net in toe.
Ja, nou.
Ja, I'm getting in.
Ja, waar je mee de baasje.
Okay.
Je bent bijna pichana.
Daar daar space.
Ja, zo vind je ook aan. Wanneer je bent dan gaan gooien.
Okay. Okay, cool. Copy. I think. Gonna look. I've got 2 microphones. Plus Becky, plus Hendrik talking to me, and 2 gorgeous blondes on Hendrik's car. That's completely distracted. Focus, Mark. Elephant. Okay, I stretched the truth a little bit, but... there is nearly 30 years between us. Okay, camera's pointing a little bit too much.
Got distracted.
No, we boys. Come on, Becky. I just got a message in my ear. Boys, behave. Excuse me, we boys. Oh, come on, Becky. That's what we are. We boys. Unfortunately, that's just the way life works. Okay, distract me with questions, Becky. I don't know what we're going to see from here, but Norman's sitting in front of us. But no, it can't really record. But we can't really get closer. Hang on, Becky. Wait, Becky. Sorry. Last station, go again. Okay, copy. No, I'm east of Longwanda. Marjo was asking, when she was here a few weeks ago, there was an elephant drinking out of the pool at the lodge she was staying at, and wondering if the chemicals in the pool are not poisonous or not bad for the animals and the elephant. But no, they're not. I don't know what the pool, I don't know the camp, I don't know the pool, I don't know. But no matter what type of filter it might have had, because there are only really two. There's a freshwater chlorine filter and there's a saltwater minimal chlorine filter that is used in this part of the world. And either way, neither one of them would cause any problem with an elephant. Maybe the chlorine will kill a bit of bacteria in his stomach, but the fact is that an elephant's digestive system is such that there's so much going through it that, and it's changing so quickly that what it takes in is not going to stay there for very long. So, no, I don't think it's much of an issue. Norman? He's coming to show us the branch that he's chosen. I suppose all this is in the way, huh? Yep. Okay, well let's move back a little bit and we'll get some more space to walk through here, because I think that's what he's asking us to do. Okay, you can come out now. There's a torchwood that looks like it wants to shake, and maybe there's fruit on the torchwood that he wants to get, and I want to see this. Stop. Sorry, I'm going over some of the terminalia saplings, but they just pop up underneath. Like that. Come here to this thing. It's making to the spot where we were playing with the wildebeest bone. It's almost as though he knows I was there and he's going to smell me. So that was barefoot. I'm sure it was right here in these trees. Where he's coming now. About bones, but he's not coming here exactly. He's bypassing it. See that skull? Yeah. I'll keep it out of the way. No, he's bypassing it. Going up to Central Road, Central Cut Line. Hello, Peggy. There we go, just behind where I was earlier. I was hoping he might come and smell my footprints. Peggy and company in West Virginia or just Virginia? Peggy was asking how much he weighs. Virginia, thanks, Peggy. Heading up the road now, crossing the road, heading towards the cut line. Peggy, I haven't the faintest idea how much he weighs, and saying how do we go about weighing? We don't. It's cause a serious sense of human failure in elephants. See, he was about to shake this torchwood. He did the same thing to this torchwood that he did to another one. But they don't have fruit on. No, there he's doing it. Oh, can we just please, there is change camera, get that. Okay, he's actually succeeded in dropping a few torchwood fruits. They're so tiny that even if he got 100 there, he really wouldn't affect his diet in any way. But he's now going to stand there and find each one. It's almost, I've seen elephants do this. There's so many different fruiting trees that they shake them like that. And it's an art. I tell you something, it takes 20-something years for an elephant to learn, after puberty, to learn how to shake a tree like that. Because it's not an easy thing. I can explain it to you a little bit better. It's almost as though this tree is growing in a way that helps elephants shake it. But the weirdest thing is, in all the times that I've seen elephants shaking to, whether they're palm trees for the palm fruit, baobabs for the baobab fruit, torchwoods, no matter what, or marulas, I've seen them do it to marula trees to get the marula. And now he's scratching the back of his ear. If I go forward, is this tree in your way? You've got the branches here. Let me just an inch. Yeah. Oh, so we've got our shadow on him. You can see just behind him on the termite mound. Hello everybody. Yes, hello.
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay, very cheesy. But it's almost as though they count the number of fruits that fall, and they will stand there and look around for every fruit that's fallen. Yeah, he's going to go for it again. Watch this. Try grasping this. Nothing came down there, boyki. There's our shadow on his body now. Okay, wait, wave, I'm going to take a photograph.
Come on, Norman.
Now he's looking for fruits now. They're tiny, and torchwood fruits are actually very, very small. Mostly eaten by civets this time of the year. They are edible for us humans, not very palatable, very stringy. But they could provide nourishment in an emergency. Very little flesh around the sort of the stone and the nuts inside, and I don't know if the nuts are actual dicotyledon themselves, or cotyledon, dicotyledon. That is a beautiful tree. I've had bigger torchwoods, but that is a special torchwood there. He's finding the fruits that he dropped the first time he shook it. You see, when an elephant is headbutting a tree, like sometimes they put their trunks up over their head, and sometimes they tuck their trunks underneath them. It's a personal preference for elephants which way they do that. And they've got to time their headbutting exact, because depending on the flexibility of the tree, they've got to hit it as it is swinging back. And the more flexible, the more it's going to swing, so the slower their headbutts have to be. But a tree like this, he's got to do it really fast, because the tree is quite rigid. And it's quite a remarkable thing to see elephants learning in their first 20 years or so, learning how to shake a tree to get the fruits down. It can't be too comfortable for an ellie. I'm sure it possibly it's not something that they do a lot. especially because they're putting all their weight behind it and they're pushing against a very rigid structure.
What's fascinating is that, I mean, the things we've seen today, you know, it's remarkable.
I know, the big...
Patient.
Yeah.
Everyone else just drives off. I mean, you know.
That's right. I think that's the key to observing things and to viewing wildlife, is that don't be in a rush. Stop and look and listen and wait with things. Spend time with things. We've still got vehicles rushing around us all over the place because there's sightings in the north and there's that leopard sighting in the south. They did finally find a kill that Muller 1 female made, and I guess I'm actually scared to go there because I know how thick that bush was. I'm scared to go and see what trees have been squashed just in the name of getting in there to see that leopard, because I couldn't get in there. I'm going to see if we can go down there. We'll see what it looks like. I'm going to leave young Norman. Who's that? Did you drop something or did I?
That thing I dropped in.
Not that I also confident of dropping it. Didn't move. But anyways, alright, let's sit with Norman a bit while I talk on the radio and see. There's been such a lineup for that leopard. Everybody's been racing down there. And I'll answer a question. Katie in Nebraska. Okay, what's Nebraska well known for? Nebraska. Ice hockey. Nebraska. Aren't you up there near North Dakota or something? Nebraska. Katie? What language am I speaking to the other guys? Well, on the radio we're only really supposed to speak English, but the other guy that was with me in the sighting with the elephants was somebody from the river lodge near us. His name is Hendrik, and I was speaking Shangaan with him, his language, and I could speak any one of maybe 4 languages with him, 5 actually. We could speak English, we could speak Afrikaans, we could speak Zulu maybe, and Fanigalo or Shangaan. We chose Shangaan because there are very few other people that are going to understand Shangaan. So when we want to talk about things that we don't want anybody to know, we'll talk Shangaan. Because I still baffle people. I go to Acornhoek where I bank, and I talk to everybody there in Shangaan, and in the supermarket, and they're baffled that there's this white dude that speaks Shangaan. A lot of the guys learn a lot of words in Shangaan, and they learn a lot of sort of... But I think mostly it's because I've lived here most of my life. Most of my friends are my Shangaan, and I spend so much time listening to the language that I think I understand it more than I can even speak it. I don't really like the direction you going, dude, because you're moving away from our signal range, but he is heading north towards the other herds that are up north. So I'm going to leave him be, because he's heading into some thick bush. It's getting to that time of day when you want to give an elephant some teeth, because the night is falling. There's a beautiful sunset about this, and so we're going to go onto this little open patch of ground here and see if we can get a glimpse of the mountains and the sun before, I don't know, maybe we head down. I'm going to find out what's happening with that Ingwe sighting. That is pretty. I don't think there's going to be much chance of us getting in there. So many vehicles on standby, everybody was racing down there. And I can only imagine that every road has got one vehicle sitting on it waiting for their turn. I think they're on channel 8 actually. Which channel is that English fighting? They're saying 8 crocodile quest. Channel 8. All the 8. Which station was it? Oh, they're too far away. Stations just left block of Madonna Love, heading north parallel to the central cut line, heading towards Ilkley Loop. If you close the iris, that might, because that's the last you're going to see of the sun this afternoon. What do you think? It's quite a nice.
Make it all pretty.
Make it pretty.
Sorry, viewers. Sorry about that.
What are you blowing it up? Hello, Ellen in Illinois. Can you identify male and female crocodiles by looking at them like you can with other animals? No, you cannot. It's almost impossible to identify a crocodile's sex by looking at them. There is normally a test. No, the only way to do it really is to do a physical examination, unfortunately, as gruesome, as weird as it may sound. But in terms of appearances, that's really pretty, hey?
Some little flares.
Yeah. Welcome to an African sunset. Oh, and look, the drongos. The drongos.
Brilliant.
Two drongos chasing each other like two little bluebirds in a forest. In a Julie Andrews movie. And Vivian in Chicago asking the same question. How do I know it's a Gertrude, not a Gregory? And a very good question. And Paulette Mildred and not an Eldred from Pennsylvania. Okay, so I get it. A lot of you asking the question, how do I know it's a Mildred crocodile and not an 15 movers on liner. Maybe I heard wrong. Okay, switching that radio off. Wait. So a very appropriate question, since I keep saying that it's impossible to tell the sex of a crocodile, and I can only say that it is a female, it's a Mildred, because I spoke to one of the guys by the name of Juan, and in most other parts of the world you probably call him Juan. It's like a Spanish name, Juan, and in Spanish we call him Juan, but somehow here in South Africa we pronounce things differently. So yes, there was a hornbill that flew past. I don't know. Because crocodile's teeth are it's not like crocodile have baby teeth and then adult teeth. Crocodile teeth are constantly being replaced, so it's like a shark, or like a conveyor belt. They lose teeth and they get teeth. Maybe I can look it up and get an answer, but to be honest, I really don't know how many teeth they have. It's like I don't know how much an elephant weighs because I don't know how to weigh it. Because it's pretty hard to get one of these elephants to stand on a scale, and then even then you've got to find a scale that's big enough to fit them. And even then you've got to sort of find some way to convince an elephant that you want it to stand on a scale. Hello, Paula. For reasons other than that which may be nefarious. Hello, Paula. What are they looking at? They're looking at something. You know, when Impala looks the other way, how old is Norman? From Leanne in Arizona, I think. Because I referred to him as a young bull. I would guess Norman to be around mid to late 20s. Sorry. I don't think he's quite 30 years old. Mid to late 20s is Norman. So we can go a little bit of that way home and then take Dacre Road. Yeah, let's do this. We can't go all the way down Central Coastline to get to where that Ingwe sighting is, so we'll go as far as we can and then cut through on Dacre Road. How many teeth does a crocodile have? I guess I'm going to have to look that one up, but I don't think there's any set figure because, as I say, teeth are constantly falling out and being replaced, and they don't have only two sets of teeth. I mean, I'm not too sure how many times teeth can be replaced, but as far as I know, right up into their older years, there's still teeth that are growing and still being replaced. I don't know. Guess I've got to look that one up. Can't really read while I'm driving. I could consult my reptile book, but see what happens when I try and get to my books. I go off the road, so I will leave the books for now. Here's an interesting question. One thing I didn't think to tell you, but thank you for Charlotte in North Carolina. Charlotte is saying, once an ellie, like Norman, like once he shakes the tree and all the fruits fall down, how does he find them? Is it sight or sense of smell? And there's one of the buffalo that's coming across the road in front of us from Longwan Dam. It's a little bit of both, Torah. Elephant vision, when the next time we have an elephant close to us, you'll see the eyes look down. In fact, an elephant's eyesight towards the end of its trunk is actually very, very good. So to a large extent he's using eyesight, but he's also using sense of smell because he's going to smell the fruit. But the other thing that he's going to be doing is going to be using touch. And on the tip of the trunk there are going to be a lot of sensory hairs on the tip of the trunk that's going to help him find them, and it's going to tell him the difference between a stone or a fruit or a piece of grass or a clump of sod or different things. So the elephant's trunk is very, very sensitive along the tip, and he's going to use all three senses: sense of touch, sense of smell, and sense of sight. And he's not likely to find something else and lift it to his mouth and then only use his taste, because by the time it gets to his mouth he knows what it is, because it's a waste of time to pick up something that he's not going to need to taste. Or rather, he's not going to pick up something that he does need to taste. He's going to pick up something that he already knows what it tastes like. Okay, I didn't do that. I didn't sneeze. Don't blame me, dude. Look how he turns around and looks at me. I didn't do anything. I didn't sneeze. I was just talking. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Going to the leopard. Guess we better get out of the way. And which station behind me? I'll pull over. You're heading to that English. Sorry, boys. Maybe that's what sparked spooked him. We may pass, but we're going to be fine. Becky, you should be on TV. Okay. Bye. I wish you could have heard that. Becky should be on TV. Okay, so Becky was telling me, and this was maybe I think who that was from. Becky was telling me that there was an email. Alligators have 80 teeth, and they replaced 5 times, which is a total of 400 teeth for a lifetime, but not all at once. And that was from Josie Jones. Thanks, Josie. I wish you could have heard how Becky read that out to me on the radio. BBC would be proud. That's interesting information. Thank you, Josie. Crocodile has chock full of teeth. Crocodile from 64 to 69 teeth. But they lose one of their teeth, another will grow in its place. That's from in Indiana. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. Thanks, Susie in Indiana. 69 odd teeth. Very odd. 69. God's got a lovely number. Yes. I want to go. Okay, we're far away from home. So we're going to be driving well into the dark, just in case there's some questions we need to answer. My dice can ease up a little bit. Easier to breathe with the sardines. Maybe because I saw an elephant. I think that must have been elephant with dolphin. I should call in a stumpy of English. Frustrating.